I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're here in my house and you're sitting right in front of me. I'm so happy. Me too. See, we talked about it for years, but finally I'm here in India, and that too in your house, sitting right in front of you. I'm so glad. What would you like to have? How about South Indian coffee? See, that's my specialty. I make such wonderful coffee. See, people who have visited me 10 years ago, they still speak about the aroma, the taste of the coffee that I make. You must have my coffee. How about it? Coffee. Okay. Just hold on. I'll be back with my wonderful coffee. Thank you for the coffee. It's just that I'm having some kind of a stomach problem. Coffee is good. Coffee is wonderful. Yeah, but you didn't even taste it. Okay, so just relax. Just have coffee. It will get cold. Oof. Oh my God, my stomach. Oh, maybe it's a hotel food. It's a hotel food. It's not suiting me. Oh my God. Maybe I should come another time. Maybe I should go back to the hotel. Just drop me back to the hotel, and maybe visit you another time. But I'm not well. Yeah, that's okay. Just calm down. But how? Finish off the coffee. Just one gulp. Just finish it off. Oh my God. I think I'm going to die. I knew you need to rush me to the hospital. Oh my God. Now, who was aggressive in this role play? The one who insisted that the guest take his coffee, or the guest, although didn't know how to say no, but still was equally stubborn not to take the coffee? Now, I'll come back to this a little later. But first, let's understand what is passive aggressiveness and how is passive aggressiveness different from aggressiveness. See, it is so easy to spot an aggressive person. An aggressive person criticizes people openly. They insult, they belittle people openly. If they don't like you, they'll be very upfront with you. If they want something, they will demand it. So it's very easy to spot an aggressive person. At the same time, it is so difficult to spot a passive aggressive person. If a passive aggressive person is angry with you, you can't make it out from their facial expression. You can't make it out from the tone of their voice. And there's no way they are going to directly tell you. They will get back at you very indirectly, very covertly. So it is very difficult to spot a passive aggressive person. For example, imagine a senior manager who needs to take an early morning flight. So he calls up the company driver and demands that this driver picks him up early morning 4:30. But the driver, his shift is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Already he works for 12 hours. So he doesn't want to start his work so early in the morning. So he tells the senior manager, "Sir, my shift starts from 9 a.m. onwards." But the senior manager, he's an aggressive guy and he dismisses this shift timings and all that. And he says, "See, tomorrow I can't depend on taxis. Early morning, sometimes it's difficult to get a taxi. And it's a very important flight, so you come and pick me up early morning, 4:30. Don't even be late by 1 minute. Is that clear?" Now the driver is very angry. He doesn't want to start his work so early in the morning. Already he is quite packed the whole day for 12 hours. So he's very angry. Doesn't want to do it. But does he reveal that? No way. So in a very polite tone, he tells the senior manager that I'll be there 4:30 in the morning. I'll pick you up. But will he show up? No, he's a passive aggressive person. He's not going to give in. He's going to get back at that senior manager. So next day morning, he's not there at 4:30, and the senior manager gets upset and he calls him, "Where are you? It's already 4:30. Sir, I'm on the way, but there is this mechanical issue. The car has broken down. I'm trying to fix it, sir. Just 5 minutes, sir. I'll quickly fix it up. Must be a small problem." And after 5 minutes, there's no sign. So he again calls up, "Where are you?" And again, "Sir, I'm trying to fix it up, but some problem, sir. I'm not able to pin it down, and I'll fix it, sir. Just another 5 minutes." And now the senior manager is very restless because he needs to catch that flight. So again he calls, "Where are you?" "Sir, I don't know, sir. I'm not able to fix it up. I think I need to take this car to a mechanic shop, sir. And I don't know whom to call at this time. Early morning, they won't be open." All that, he starts giving excuses, and then the senior manager gets frustrated. He shouts at the driver. And when you shout at a passive-aggressive person, it has just the opposite effect. Because a passive-aggressive person gets a sense of satisfaction when you shout at them. Because they are like, "See, you wanted me to do something which I don't want to do. Now you suffer. Now I can see that you're frustrated and I want you to suffer." And that's passive aggressiveness. And you can't even openly talk about it. If the senior manager calls him up and says, "Hey, I think you're angry with me. Can we talk about this?" No, sir, I'm not angry with you, sir. Sir, I really want to drop you. Sir, this car, we gave it for service only 2 weeks back. I don't know, sir, suddenly it has happened and all that. So you can't pin it down. You don't know whether it's intentionally the driver is doing or it's a genuine issue. No, you're confused. That's why it's so difficult to deal with a passive. You can't directly talk to them. You can't shout at them. So how to deal with a passive aggressive person? See, I went through a lot of articles on passive aggressiveness, and most of these articles, they portray a passive aggressive person as a villain, as a bad person. And the recommendation is to stay away from passive aggressive people. But passive aggressive person is not a bad person. They are not villains. They just don't feel safe enough to open up and share their feelings or their thoughts. Why is it so? Because they have gone through experiences in life in the past where they were not allowed to express themselves freely. There are a lot of families, there are a lot of culture where a child cannot express themselves honestly. A child cannot express anger, a child cannot express difference of opinion. A child cannot say no to their parents, a child cannot say no to teachers, a child cannot say no to any person of authority. So that's why a lot of people, they end up figuring out a very indirect way to express their anger, express their difference of opinion. So the first step to dealing with passive-aggressive person is to create a very safe and trusting environment. And how do you do that? By learning to spot a no. For example, you call up a friend and say, "Hey, why don't we meet up? Let's meet up today evening. Now, this place at this time." And your friend says, "Yes, yeah, I got some work. Yes, we should meet up." Now, at the surface level, it looks like the person is saying yes. But there's a lot of hesitation in that yes. There's a difference when a yes comes from the heart and a yes comes from the lips. To be able to spot this hesitation is the first step to dealing with passive-aggressive person. Anytime you notice a hesitation, don't use force, emotional blackmail, or threats to get things done. Don't use force. Okay, keep that aside. Anytime you notice hesitation, create a very safe environment for the other party, the other person to open up. For example, I'm a team leader and I call for a team meeting. And then with a lot of excitement, I present an idea. "Hey, let's do this project this way. Now the project is going to be phenomenally successful." But then I notice some hesitation. And so I invite them to open up by creating a very safe environment. By saying something like this, that there is a possibility that there could be flaws in this project. And none of us want this project to fail. So let's discuss the flaws, any holes that might be there. Let's brainstorm and then invite them to open up. And by listening deeply and listening with respect, listening with empathy, I can create an atmosphere where people can really open up to any objections to this method that I have suggested. See, even after a very candid discussion, even after listening very deeply to the other person, if still there's a lack of excitement, one can create excitement by telling the other party what's in it for them. We can create a sense of enthusiasm by telling the larger purpose. For example, I request a friend of mine to join me for jogging. My friend is not very excited, still a very hesitant yes. In such cases, I can passionately share it to him, the joy of running. Now that's sweating it out, the energy pulsating in the body, the thrill of experiencing that morning freshness, that health. Now by telling the benefits of that higher energy one experiences throughout the day, I can create an excitement. I can also create an excitement by speaking about the larger purpose of jogging, how jogging can help in creating a healthier society, how one can be a model citizen by jogging on a daily basis, how one can be a role model and inspire others by jogging every single day. No, by speaking about the joy of running, by speaking about a larger purpose, I can create excitement in another person. So these are ways that we can turn a hesitant or a hesitation into a clear yes. So in a lot of occasions, we can convert a hesitation to a clear yes through respect, through mutual discussion. But there are also occasions, there are situations in life when the other party says a clear no, the best option would be to respect that no. Imagine a person who loves horror movies. Now he wouldn't miss a horror movie. And he wants to go for a horror movie and request his wife to join him. But she hates horror movies. She is very uncomfortable watching a horror movie. So she very clearly says no. So when a person is saying so clearly a no, what are the options this husband has? One of the options is to use force, emotionally blackmail, threaten, somehow take her to that movie. That's not the right approach. The right approach would be to respect that no and explore other options. He could go with a friend. He could go alone. He could create a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group and invite like-minded people to join that group. And he could go with a bunch of 10 to 15 people who loves horror movies and enjoy that movie. So there are lots of options available when a person says a clear no. So how to deal with passive aggressiveness? The best way to deal with passive aggressiveness is through respect, through love, through deeply listening to another person, through an open discussion. That's the way to deal with passive aggressiveness. The more we respect another person, especially if we can respect an individual's right to take their own decisions, and we create an atmosphere where decisions are taken in a very inclusive way through mutual discussion, we can avoid passive aggressiveness. We can create an atmosphere of love, connection, collaboration, and an atmosphere of joy and happiness. Now, before I sign off, let me remind you that self-mastery is life mastery. Ensure self-mastery is a priority in your life. Be passionate, be loving, and be a source of inspiration.